Hey, hello. What's up, Justice Warriors? It is 9:21 to be exact. It's the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th, Sunday. And tomorrow is President's Day, right? Let me get a little bit of lip gloss on. And how's everybody doing tonight? Oh, I need to text a couple of people. I've been keeping them abreast of the situation. Um, and give people a minute to find the live stream. Oh, there's a couple people here. Hello, hello. So lovely to see you. I have been looking at a lot of old videos today of Savannah Guthrie and Trump stuff. It goes back a lot further than when she got her Emmy for that interview with them. It goes back like 10 years. They had a contentious relationship. So that by itself, the Trumpster fire saying that he likes her, I think he said he's always liked her, without qualifying that with admitting to the contentious relationship that was very public, is just more of the gaslighting lies. And the tiger's not going to change his stripes. That's what he does. That's who he is. It's what he lives for. So I guess I can't be surprised. Looks to me like there's a little too much light. If I slide that over, that might be better, because then it blocks some that's coming from behind over there. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for the tube of you and me, and it's an infotainment platform. So I've had my braces now for probably 7 months. So only 11 to go. I have a lot of wax on them. That's normal for me because I'm a baby, and they hurt. Man, they cut up your lips. Did I show skin? Goodness gracious, I hope not. I probably did. I'll have to review it and edit that out. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm glad that I review my videos as often as I can. Like lately, I haven't been able to get to them 100%, which I was really good for a couple of years. Like every single video I would review. But my lives have been longer, and I'm just, I try to review them to make sure I didn't make any mistakes and to learn from them and blah, blah, blah. I made a big mistake in the video. I think it was yesterday, where I thought the word Irish came out of my mouth because there was somebody in the chat with a very Irish first and last name. I think the last name was Flanagan. And when I listened to the video, it said Italian that came out of my mouth. Like, sometimes I really have to wonder, like, was I that looped? Because I knew that it was Irish and I knew that I was saying Irish, but those things happen. But who knows? It could be AI messing with me. I kid you not. So make sure that you're still subscribed, turn on your notification bell to ring, share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. The first thing I wanted to talk about today is the Ghiz, who is just such a terrible piece of crap, right? Ghislaine. So I watched this crazy video this morning. Sheila Zolnor. I was like, what? Like this chick is over the top. She cray. And, I didn't watch her videos at first when they would show up in my feed because they always seemed kind of extreme. And then it was kind of recent that some of my viewers said, oh, check her out. You'll like her. And I do. I really like her a lot. So I want to play her video that she dropped at the top of the day. and discuss. And it is crazy, but I think she might be right. So let's play it and see what you guys think. And I already linked it up in the description of this video. So here we go. Zolnor, where are you? Here she is. So I'm going to play it. My mic is right here. And maybe I might be able to like put it that way and take the mic with it. So let's see. One sec. And turn down because there'll be an ad first.
So I just noticed something funny. Here's Ghislaine before she was arrested. Okay. I want you to look at her eyes. Okay. And then here's a picture of Ghislaine after she's been in prison for some time.
Check this video out with me.
I just want you to look at her eyes. And fuck it, look at her hair too. Hair, eyes. Who the fuck is this? Who's this? There's a reason why she had a grown out bob. It's because it takes a good amount of skill to cut hair like this. Suddenly, they're going to have her give tests.
Okay, I got to say, I used to have a cute little pixie cut like that. What was that in the right around Y2K? And man, it was expensive to keep up. It was crazy expensive. It was really cute. I could show you a picture, but it was ridiculously expensive.
Testimony, and she has her like her trademark haircut back, but she's wearing glasses for the first time ever. If you Google Ghislaine Maxwell wearing glasses, you might find one picture of her wearing these skinny little sunglasses, but this is the only photograph of her wearing glasses. And she has eyelids, hooded eyes. She's in custody here. We know she didn't get an upper blepharoplasty while she's been in custody, right? So who the fuck is this man? Who is that? These aren't the same person. Whose nose is that? This haircut also makes it very convenient to hide the forehead area. Because then...
So as she keeps going, her hypothesis is that the Ghislaine that was on the deposition Zoom a week ago tomorrow is not the actual Ghislaine, but that was maybe a male body double. And like I said, I thought this chick's over the top, but we're going to discuss it. And, hey, Annie Ruler, what's up? Granny got unsubscribed and it says I can create a channel for Granny Annie to chat. I can disappear if this was intentional. No, not intentional at all, my dear. Welcome, honey pie. I responded to some of your emails and I haven't checked my email in the last day or two, but yeah, you're a sweetheart. You're good.
We'd be able to say, hey, whose eyebrows are those? Because look at her eyebrows. Cousins, not sisters, sisters, not twins. I don't know who the fuck's eyebrows those are. Huh? This looks like a person who's wearing like a prosthetic chin as well, trying to like achieve this shape. This is... I don't know who the fuck this is. At some point, when they did that transfer, I have a feeling this woman...
I just want to say, too, that all of our faces change a lot, and people's faces change particularly a lot when they're in prison.
Got her freedom. Because as Pamela Jo Bondi said in that hearing, she wasn't transferred to a lower security prison. Bullshit, but that's what she said. So if we're going to take her at her word and it wasn't a transfer to a lower security, why'd you transfer her? Why transfer her at all? Was it an opportunity to swap out bodies? Because this is what she looked like. There's someone doing an interview with her on like the video calls in the jail, and her hair was like this. And even in that video, she's not wearing fucking glasses. So who the fuck is this? She went to the minimum security and got glasses and got a hairdresser to cut her hair like this too? All of that footage they released too of her sitting in her jail cell and then like getting up and like doing some stretches and then reading a book. She didn't have this haircut. She had her hair in a short bob in a ponytail. But this is the haircut that she was known for. So when
and it's true, that is her iconic haircut that she's known for. And suddenly she had that haircut when she was giving her deposition a week ago. And did you notice how giant the table was? It was like the size of an Olympic swimming pool. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but the camera was really far away from her. She was tiny in the frame, absolutely tiny. You could hardly see her, basically.
They're doing something that they knew was going to be televised, they give her her fucking iconic haircut back because she's not in jail anymore. This is a fucking joke. Look at the eyelids. No one goes from having hooded eyes their entire fucking life, going to prison with hooded eyes, and then miraculously, after a little transfer of venue, no more hooded eyes. This is a fucking prosthetic face. I don't know what the fuck this is. And she also suddenly like lost her vision. I'm going on a loop now, but this is just so unbelievable to me.
Yes,
I mean, it's
Annie.
not even the same nose. I understand that with weight fluctuation, noses can change a little bit, but look, I don't know if this is called the bridge or whatever this line is, but that's just completely gone. I haven't even seen that in pregnant women. It changes, but it looks like fundamentally the same. She's not pregnant. Again, if we're saying that this is weight gain related, her nose, more reason why her hooded eyes would not disappear. This is a fucking joke. They continue to play in our faces. I need to go to bed. And I remembered one more thing. There was a British person breaking down her accent. And
maybe we should play the deposition. It sounds like AI. Her voice sounds like AI. I'll tell you what the features of AI voices are to look for, because I learned about that in a YouTube video from an expert.
Words that she said here in this little statement that she was going to like assert her Fifth Amendment privilege. They said that it sounded Scottish, like a Scottish accent. I think she got exactly what she wanted, and this administration couldn't give it to her without losing all of their supporters. So they gave it to her and then put whoever this fucking dude is in her place to give that statement. I mean, the camera couldn't have been farther from her face, too. I don't know if you saw. It's like the end of like a long table. And that looks like a wig the more I look at it. This is ridiculous.
It's been about a month since I quit nicotine, thanks.
Oh, crap. One sec. It made me sign up.
Program, and the sun is shining.
Oh, don't you hate the ads? I'll skip that. Okay, that's the end of it. So yeah, I'll play a minute of the deposition so you can hear how her voice, the way you can tell that a voice is AI is that it sounds like they're in a box or like in a can, and the voice doesn't fluctuate at all. It's just like the same tenor, the same octave, the same decibels. So those are the key features of an AI voice. So yes, Annie Ruler, you did send me the video. Jean Bonnet has pictures with them. I know that some people swear that that's Ghiz in the photo with Jean Bonnet. Personally, I think it could be her, but I don't feel like I can see enough of the face to make that determination. But yeah, I know that they had pictures of her. Ghiz and Little E had pictures of her, and that, you know, she was in pageants, so of course she was on their radar. Of course she was on their radar, right? She would have been on the Fire's radar. He was the pageant king. Anna Bees, what's up? So you've already seen the video. I played that. Let's play a little bit of her deposition so you can hear how she sounds like she's AI. Let's see. Ghislaine Maxwell deposition last Monday. Let's see. This is the full deposition. We're not going to watch the full thing, but let me just get it started and see.
Third, 2025.
I'll take it a little bit further.
Motion direct. And the witness demonstrates her completed. Thank you, Jack. This
Robert Garcia, ranking member.
before you begin, including but not limited to understand.
You know what? I should just go to a short because she really only talked for a second, right? So this short probably has the whole thing. Let's see.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, is it your intention to answer every question put to you by the committee today on the assertion of your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
The answer to that is yes also. So just as her lawyer, I'll tell you, yes, that's her intention.
Look at her
Ms. Maxwell,
shoulders.
were you a close friend and
They're
confidant of
very
Jeffrey
slouched.
Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth
Okay,
Amendment.
that's
against
enough.
self-
Enough of that biatch.
Ms.
So
Maxwell, were you a close
I said stop. So yeah, doesn't she sound like a robot? Is it just me, or do you think she sounds like a robot too, you guys? It's fine if you disagree with me, but she kind of sounds like a Melania bot too, doesn't she? So weird. So the slouch shoulders are also not her shoulders. That woman had perfect posture and very nice square shoulders. She was basically anorexic her entire life. So she's a little bit bloated looking in the deposition last Monday. And it could be that she is slouching, has bad shoulder problems, and is bloated, but it could be a replacement. Don't you think it's possible? Don't you think it could be an AI voice? Granny Annie is muted. Glad she knows. What? She's muted? Oh, how did she get muted? I didn't do it. No, I wanted to apologize if I had offended you the other day, Annie, my dear. The whole thing with Savannah Guthrie's mother, oh man, 2 weeks today and nothing. So Savannah put out a new plea on a little video clip today, and we can play that. It is so sad, and she looks so freaking rough. I mean, her face looks bruised, and you know how you're like under your eyes, your eye bags can look bruised when you haven't slept for 2 weeks, which, I mean, she's probably just been crying most of the time and unable to sleep and unable to eat and just a freaking mess. She probably is not going to leave Tucson until she finds out what happened to her mother. I wouldn't be able to. Very early reports were Etsy dated Patsy. You mean little E? Is that who you mean by Etsy? Dated Patsy? But isn't she too old? Wasn't she too old? I mean, because she was maybe similar in age to him, and he didn't date anyone close to his age. But maybe she was like a Ghislaine, and maybe she recruited for him. I don't know. I mean, that might be a stretch. Sorry, I have seen that shift happen in Cabo. Both cheaters, but cheaper to keeper works for them. I think it's possible, Anna B says, about Ghiz being swapped out. It would make perfect sense. I mean, she's a millionaire. And she's got the, what do they call it? Comprimand? I think that's what they call it, comprimand. She's got that on everybody. Everybody, not just El Presidente. Everybody. So, yeah, she probably is ruling the roost. I mean, we know she's basically bossing the warden around. I had braces at age 23. Yes, those things poke. Don't eat salad at rubber chicken events. I don't know what rubber chicken events are. But yeah, salad is bad. I mean, I've eaten it. Like, you have to make it really tiny bites, and definitely you want to get your water pick before you talk to anybody. Crowds don't tell you lettuce is in your braces. I water pick a few times a day. I live by my water pick. I didn't have one before the braces. I have several personas, algorithms giving me some awesome stuff, and I share here. BK has been several looks too. Bearded one, off plane, and Boise. Yeah. I mean, we all do change day to day, and we can look very different from just different angles, different lighting, different glasses or hats or hairdos. But certainly just like one day to the next, different jewelry. I put this necklace together today. I'm really excited about it. It's like a giant dark labradorite, and then this cool beaded thing. I did not bead this. I could not do this work. It's called like peyote stitch, I think. But I did make the earrings, and I put the necklace together, but I didn't make the beaded part. I've got one of my delicious smoothies. So I do like vegetable juice, green vegetable juice, and chai and kefir, and I love it. So it's very healthy and very tasty. So yeah, the thing with Savannah's video, maybe we should play that and then speak some more. Oh, this was a good one I heard today. The PDF file is full of PDF files. Get it? The PDF file is full of PDF files. And there's an eclipse coming the day after tomorrow. Did you guys know that? I'm not really that wise about that kind of stuff. I'm curious about it, though. And Leslie Wexner's deposition in Ohio is on Wednesday. Oh, would I like to go to that and be a fly on the wall? And let's go ahead and play that Savannah video. It is just heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. But yeah, I think that the situation with Nancy Guthrie it's really pulled my heartstrings. You know, my mother, if she hadn't passed away a few years ago, she would be 83 right now. And she was in such frail health, and man, it's just a disaster, an absolute disaster. Annie Ruler, you know that I think that Biggly Piggly is behind it, right? And I can outline to you exactly why I think that. I'm 100% convinced, actually. I mean, maybe 99.9% convinced, but pretty much 100%. So let's get to that.
Ms. Maxwell, were you?
Oh, stop it. Let's get to that Savannah Guthrie one. Okay. So this is just a 2-minute clip. Let me try to cue it up real quick and then show you. It's been such nice weather here. I've been able to take a walk like every day for the last few days. I've been really excited about that. I need my fresh air. I need it.
We want to bring you some breaking news just into our newsroom in the.
Let's see. Okay, I think this is queued up right at the beginning of it. This is so tragic. I'll try to get it close to the screen so you can see her face.
I wanted to come on and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. We believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late. That was Savannah.
Oh, does that just pull your heartstrings? And looking at her face on my screen as I was holding up the cell phone, you really can't see how rough she looks. Because the cell phone with all the like bright light, it's just really hard for the detail to come across on the video on my screen, from one screen to another screen. But if you watch that video, and I will put a link to it in the description, it's a 2-minute, slightly more than 2-minute Fox video that just dropped a little bit ago. Excuse me. It is, I mean, she looks beat. She looks so beat. I literally can't imagine. I actually lost my mom at a store a handful of years before she passed away. So she was living at the nursing home, and I didn't take her places because she was so high risk. But I ventured out with her one day. I took her to Michael's craft store, and I ran next door to Target to get like a birthday card or something while she was at Michael's. And it was like 10 degrees that day. It was bitter cold, maybe 20 at the most. It was bitter cold. And they weren't like right next to each other. You had to like hike up a little grass knoll from like one parking lot to the next, and not even that little. So I didn't think in a million years that she would have walked from Michael's over to Target. And when I got the card, I went back to Michael's to get her, and I couldn't find her. And I was flipping out. I mean, I was like looking under tables. I was, of course, checking the restroom. I was checking every aisle, because they have like craft tables in the back of Michael's. So I was talking to the staff, and then I was going outside, and I think I did like go back to Target, but then I went back to Michael's. I was like, she has to be in here. I was literally ready to call 911. Like, I lost my mom in the fucking mall. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. It's probably like 20 minutes at least before I found her. And I can't remember if I went back over to Target, because she had gone to Target to try to find me. Like, she just didn't stay at Michael's too long. And, she was a very crafty, artsy person. And Michael's isn't a place that you go to for just like a minute, right? I mean, but living in a nursing home and, kind of having slight dementia, I guess, she just didn't stay there. She ventured outside and walked up that grassy knoll hill, even though she lived in a nursing home and was on dialysis, like flat on her back every other day. She could hardly move. But on her good days that she didn't have dialysis, she could garden. She could even like ride her bike. But it was so cold out, and I was so scared, and I was so mad. Like, I never got over that. I never took her anywhere again after that. I was so upset by it. And that was like 20 minutes. I mean, it's almost like if I had lost a kid for 20 minutes, I would have definitely called 911 after about maybe 2 minutes max. But I was so close to calling 911, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Tell them I lost my mom, who's like 5'11" and, full grown adult, not in a wheelchair. I mean, she didn't even use a walker or a cane or anything. But it was terrifying. So that's just interesting. But yeah, the whole thing with Nancy Guthrie really pulls my heartstrings. A couple of my closest friends are that age too. So we all have moms, right? Billy's here. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that. I don't know why. I saw the blue, and I was thinking that it was Anna B's from earlier and that there were no comments. So let me get caught up. Hi, try to log in, and I can look at participates in chat and unmute, although I'm not aware of your other handle being muted. I'd be happy to try to help fix it. And I can look to Annie Ruler. I didn't do it. I definitely didn't do it because I've been missing you. I've wanted you to come back. But after the live, I can look and see, it'll say like who's blocked. It's hardly anybody. I used to have a lot of people blocked, and then I unblocked them all, and then they all started trolling me. So I blocked just a couple of the really, really bad trolls. It's crazy how they can be. I mean, because some like hecklers are good. Like that kind of can be a good jumping off point to start a conversation. But I always say to the trolls, like, if you're a smart troll, play nice, and then you're going to get a lot further. But I don't have that zero tolerance anymore. But when you jumped into the chat a few days ago and said whatever you said about Nancy Guthrie, I just was like so raw and sensitive, and I kind of flipped out, and I apologize. It happens, right? So let's see. My algorithm, there has this type topic, hate making my TC loaded with political videos. Yeah, I know. And I'm, all into the political stuff. I never used to be. it really started with the whole Trumpstein file thing for me. I mean, I've been focused on those Trumpstein files for a long time. As soon as my channel switched over to being political and true crime, which was like the day before the election of 2024, I can pinpoint it because I didn't make any videos for like 2 weeks because all I wanted to talk about was politics. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk about politics on my channel. I'm just not. It was like a rule that I had, is just like stay away from politics. True crime, baby. And then, with the Kylie Rodney case, sometimes politics would come up. I would usually try to just like bow out if it did. There were a couple of times I didn't bow out, and it's just no fun. Anyway, the whole thing with the Trumpstein files is that, that's what our dear leader ran on, is like transparency, release the files. And, he was just bluffing. He was just bluffing. He's psychotic, in my opinion. But what is more important to me than his psychosis or little E's psychosis or Ghiz's psychosis, what's way more important to me is to hear the stories of the survivors, to get to know the people that were victimized like that, who they were, what they were like back then, what they went through, what they're like now. I'm very interested in these folks. I mean, I find it fascinating and phenomenal to hear their perseverance and their healing and their survival stories. I mean, I'm truly riveted. I'm truly interested. And I mean, if I could, I would reach out to the survivors and say, hey, come onto my platform and, do interviews. I'll figure out how to do the split screen or whatever. I would love that. I would love that more than anything. But also to talk about the survivors that didn't survive, that haven't maintained surviving, that may or may not have taken their own lives, that may or may not have been victims of red rum. So yeah, I'm truly interested in all that. But once I started talking about politics the day before the election, I just felt like, in my heart, in my opinion, that the political stuff was criminal, and that the true crime stuff, for me, a lot of it was political. Like with Kylie Rodney, I always assumed that her family was not MAGA, that she was not MAGA. I mean, she was 17, and a lot of 17-year-olds could give a crap one way or the other. But I kind of assumed that like Scammy's parents were MAGA, and that, the elites of Truckee were MAGA, and that was one of the reasons that Kylie Rodney's family was shunned, because they were, kind of hippies, basically. And I don't know for a fact that that's true, but in my opinion, that's the way I see it. And, Kylie went missing in 2022. And I know a lot of people that cared a great deal about her would say, oh, if only Trump were president, he'd get this all taken care of. He's totally anti-trafficking. And I was just like, well, that would be nice if that was true. But in my opinion, he was like the first person that would be transporting her. And I've thought that all the way through, and I still think that. I've always been suspicious of Zuck being right there, boots on the ground. I've always been suspicious of what a perfect prototype Kylie is, and the whole Handmaid's Tale theme that her mom had on her social media platforms. Then learning about the baby farming more recently. Kylie, blonde hair, not blue eyes, but green, which is even more sought after, especially with the eugenics. Tall and slender, very, very, slender, svelte build. and again, like real nice broad shoulders, very well proportioned, and thick blonde hair, not just blonde, but thick hair. And then the musical attributes that she had, the extreme talent that she had cultivated and was obviously born with, because she was playing an instrument when she was like 2. But yeah, I still think that she could be enslaved in that sense. I hope she's not. I hope that she's alive, but I doubt she's alive. Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy nightmare. Anyway, am I rambling? I apologize if I am. Yeah, you were not muted after all. Still working. Oh, Granny Annie rebooted. Woohoo! Awesome. Good job. All handles showing up in participants, total 4. I am learning how to talk to safe people and clear the air. It took me 65 years to have the guts. And the way I see it is, it's like there's always going to be conflicts. If you have interactions with somebody over a long period of time, you're going to hit disagreements, and that's okay. That's part of living life. And even if it gets explosive, even if there's a fight, even if there's a falling out, it's not what happens that defines the relationship. It's how you handle what happens. That's my theory with life too. It's not like the crises in your life that define you. It's how you handle the crises in your life that define you, or problems, or what have you. I get the passion. I do. There will be about 5 long-term politicians that would all be charged, in my opinion. Videos were made for blackmail, according to my bonus son. Absolutely. The videos were all made for blackmail. They were probably also made for C-spam to sell, because that's also a multi-billion-dollar industry annually. So all of those videos, like for instance, the little story that Howard Lutnick told recently about trying to squirm his way out of why he took his entire family to Pedo Island for lunch. It was supposed to be dinner. He wanted to go there for dinner with his 4 kids and his friends and their 4 kids and his wife. And basically Jeffrey wasn't letting him come for dinner. He was like, no, you can come for lunch. And so they did. They took their little yacht over to Pedo Island, and Lutnick was very reluctant to admit that. And then when he did, I mean, in the email, it spells out the ages of each kid, and they range. There were 2 16-year-olds, I think, 2 14-year-olds, a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old. I think that's 8. That's the ages of the kids. Why in the email did Howard Lutnick tell little E the exact age of every single kid that he was bringing? 6 of them were boys, 2 of them were girls. But when he's telling to the committee that the oversight committee that he's being questioned by, he says, yes, I took my whole family, my kids, my wife, the nannies, my friends, and their kids to the island. And we had lunch for an hour, and then I left and I took my kids. It's just like, why would you point that out? Of course you took your kids, but did you leave the other kids? But even if all of the kids were just there for an hour, the way that type of what do you call it? C-spam. It's like ex abuse, child X abuse, something, you know, corn with a P, that crap. The way they make it, whether it's underage or grown-ups, it's all like Frankenstein AI together. Like, you can take a face of, say, Cindy Crawford or JonBenet Ramsey, and you can do whatever you want with that face. All you need is one photograph, one image. So maybe that's why they wanted to get the kids to the island, was just to get some images of their faces so that they could make products to sell with that. I don't know, but it's weird. It's weird AF. Like, why in the world would you be putting the ages of the kids in the freaking email? That makes zero sense. Unless you're like going to an amusement park or a movie or something where there's like age limit restrictions on things. But let me get caught up with my friends here, and I'll let the dog in if they scratch again. Where are we? They call in favors to politicians and never let a tragedy go to waste. Searchers said they never ran into cops searching, but the millions of dollars went to various good old network. So Granny Annie in Palm Beach, little E donated 6 figures to the West Palm Beach Sheriff's Department, or the Palm Beach Sheriff's Department. I forget which it's called. But he donated 6 figures to them every year. So they left him alone. They let him do whatever he wanted, basically. Hey, Anna, darling, you should see these beautiful girls in Cabo, tall and hot for their elite hubbies. I bet, yeah. Remember, I grew up in Malibu, baby, when I was a teenager. It's crazy, crazy. These are not kids I am speaking of. Well, and that's good. Thank goodness. I couldn't type because I was putting some groceries away. Oh, I'm so glad you got your groceries. I wanted to say that Savannah's face did look bruised. Yeah, I think it's like her left side, it looked completely bruised. But I'm thinking that could be from the grief. I mean, just like how I've said recently, how we all can like really wear our stress on our faces. She's dealing with the most stressful situation imaginable. Talking to the person, not about the person. My epiphany. Gray Pubes was messing with me. That's a funny name. Totally cracking me up. So Gray Hughes was messing with me. He is too dangerous to confront. Narcissistic people vow revenge. Walk away. Are you talking about the content creator? Are you talking about that, Annie? Seriously, I know a lot of people have flipped out on him. He's flipped out on a lot of people. I've never liked Gray Hughes. Yeah. There's something really weird about that man. As long as politicians have to pay for election, they will take bribes. I witnessed 2 judges be bought, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Granny Annie. It's nuts. People don't realize how stupid it is to take a bribe. I mean, money is just money, right? Sorry, this is so good. I have to finish it. And then my water's like way over there. But yeah, I wanted to chat with you guys about all this crapola. Mostly about the videos that I was watching today of Savannah And, so I was watching all kinds of clips of Savannah talking about her interviews with Biggly Piggly. And these videos that I was watching were anywhere from like 10 years old to 4 years old. And also watching Biggly Piggly speaking about her. And they were at odds for pretty much 10 years. And we know that he basically hates journalists in general, unless they're like sycophants that call themselves journalists, like the guy that was marrying Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think his name is Brian Glenn or something like that. He's the guy who asked Zelensky why he can't wear a suit, why he won't wear a suit. That guy. He's like a fake journalist. Let me see what MTG's fiance's name is. It's always annoying when my brain doesn't pull it up. Marjorie Taylor Greene's fiance. Brian Glenn. Oh my God, is that what I said and everything? I think I got it right. Amazing, isn't it? So I don't trust any of them. Anna B says, seriously, Gray Pubes was the only channel I watched in months. Suddenly, a strange email YouTube shows creators came to my real last name. Fake lady wanted me to boink her. Hubby was out of town. That's crazy, girl. Yes, the channel Gray Pubes. I love that name. That is hilarious. He then used my real name to let me know he knew all about me. Oh, yeah, because he's like a detective, don't you know? He's like the best detective in the world. Had Googled my last name. I kept the emails if it got worse. Oh, dear. That is wackadoodle. I think he lives in Portland, Oregon, because when I first knew about his channel, I looked him up because he was covering a local case here in Ohio that nobody knew about. And I was wondering, like, how would he have known about this case in Ohio that literally nobody covered on YouTube except him? And so I was wondering if he was in Ohio or where he was. And I figured out that he's in Portland, Oregon. I figured that he probably knew somebody in Ohio or something. It was a little impressive that he was able to zero in on that case, but he didn't do anything with it at all, and he didn't follow through on it at all. And he should have. It would have been smart of him to. He could have really made a name for himself with that, but oh well. Yeah. And that was before I ever had a channel. And then when I started my channel, I like had decided that I did not want to cover anything close to home, mostly because I didn't want to tell people on YouTube even what part of Ohio that I was in. And I figured if I was covering Ohio cases that it might come up. And I wish I could just like tell people. I've told people that I'm near Springfield, Ohio. So, it wasn't until probably a year ago. Well, no, I know exactly when it was. It was when the cat and dog eating thing happened. So that was a year and a half ago. That's when I started. I just came right out with it. I was like, I live right by Springfield. Nobody's eating nobody's cats and dogs. And I know the exact way that whole thing started. Let me share it with you guys, because maybe you don't know, and maybe you don't care, but maybe you do care, because it keeps coming back up every so often. And ICE was leaving Minnesota. They're in the middle of leaving Minnesota right now. And then they were going to invade Springfield and try to get all the Haitians out of there, which would completely collapse the economy of Springfield. The Haitians are 25% of the population. and they all work. And every single one of their jobs would be vacant if they weren't in it. None of those jobs would get filled by anybody. There'd be nobody to take those jobs. So they've gotten a stay. They've gotten a temporary stay that ICE was going to be coming in at the beginning of this month, and they're not, obviously, because we're at the middle of the month and they're not here. Thank goodness. But the way the thing happened with the cat and the dog eating bullcrap is that, and maybe you guys know this story, a woman lost her cat, and her cat's name was like literally Miss Sassy. I think that's exactly what the cat's name was. We'll just say Miss Sassy, and then I'll Google it, double check it. So this woman lost her kitty cat, Miss Sassy, and she was really upset. She couldn't find Miss Sassy for a couple of days, and she kind of went nuts, and she put on Facebook that she accused her Haitian neighbor of eating her cat. She put it on Facebook, and the very next day, within 24 hours, she found Miss Sassy, and Miss Sassy was fine. Maybe she was like in somebody's basement or something. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, she got her cat. Her cat was fine. And the idiot Miss Sassy's mom did the amazing, smart, beautiful thing. She went to the neighbor's house, knocked on their door, and said, "I am so sorry about that post. I'm an asshole," basically. And that was that. And then nothing happened for months. And then freaking JD Vance got a hold of this story and twisted it all the F around. So that's the real story, is that woman made a Facebook post, thought for some reason she accused the neighbor of that. And then when she found her cat safe, she went in person and apologized to their face. So it's a beautiful story, except then JD Vance ran with it. I think Laura Loomer was the one who fed it to JD Vance. And we all know Laura Loomer's a freaking lunatic. And then JD Vance fed it to Donnie on the way to the debate with Kamala. And then Donnie just threw it out there. It was insane. It was so effing crazy. It was like he was joking. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the people's pets. And then there was like the ducks and the geese from the lakes, and none of it was true. None of it was true. Let me see. What was the name? What was the name of the cat that went missing in Springfield, Ohio, that the woman accused her Haitian neighbor of eating? Miss Sassy, I did get it right. The cat at center of Ohio pet eating controversy. OMG. I'm going to let the puppy in 1 second. 1 second. Come on, Mookie. Come on, Cheeseball. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Come here, baby. Can I sit too? Can I sit too? How about we share? The chair's big enough for both of us. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Yes, you are. Let me sit. Oh, I got my sweatpants, my tie-dyed sweatpants on. Oh, Cheese is so excited. She just can't hide it. Hey, baby. All right, what you guys saying? Oh, come here, honey. Come here. Oh, I love Katie Couric. Yes, the channel. Okay. I was watching someone, Katie Couric, and she had on two ladies that were former FBI. One of them said the guy in Nancy Guthrie's store cam was wearing two masks, just like I thought. Two ski masks. Annie, he sucks. He needs to be told on for bullying. Yeah, he bullies his entire viewership. He's like, I'm not gonna end this video until I get $12 more or something. I mean, crazy stuff. It's just like you're holding your viewers ransom. Like, why do they even watch? He thinks his audience is rolling in cash. So many are on disability. Insults us for not paying a retired dude on a nice pension. Share to spread facts like many true crime peeps are in it for. Yeah, I mean, if people want to donate money, that's super nice. But yeah, it's a free platform for the most part. I mean, we have to deal with the ads, but yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Annie, I heard he did things like that. People should stop watching him. Well, there's that really good channel. What is it called? Like the YouTube Bad Actors channel. I like that channel a lot. It's funny, and they mostly focus on him. Let's see. And I have learned to lay low what narc men have done to ruin my reputation because the truth exposes them. Protecting myself is all I want to do. I am strictly dickly. Anna, yes, vote with your fingers. Take a stand. That was so ridiculous. I am woman, hear me roar. 1 year anniversary of me walking out of a verbally abusive man. Small incidents, but increasing because his prostrate caused side effects. Oh, this silly girl. She's so funny. She's just such a handful. My little puppy baby. My little puppy baby. She's so affectionate, but then she's so wiggly. Annie, I'm glad you're safe now. Yes, narcissists are dangerous and manipulative. Anna, why does YouTube tell creators our email? Many of us use one email and it includes professional names. And I was a public person listed in Shasta County. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Let me get my notebook. It fell onto the ground. Yes, I said he or she was wearing like a rubber mask under the ski mask. Oh, I hadn't noticed you say that, my dear. I don't know if you said that in my chats or not. I think the rubber mask is that of a woman. I definitely think that. Oh, so you think that they're wearing like a fake face and then a ski mask over that? That's interesting because yeah, the eyes. Excuse me. The eyes are very effeminate looking, and the lips too. Very effeminate looking, in my opinion. But the build looks like a guy's body, just the proportions and everything, and just the way he moves. But that's fascinating. And that would be a good way to hide your identity, to put on a mask of a different face and then put a ski mask over that. Wow. Yeah, remember that guy who went to the door of the representative in Minnesota and unalived her and her husband and their dog, and he was wearing that evil mask. I don't know what the face was, if it was just like some random bald guy face, but yeah. Oh, so Granny Annie, do you want me to tell you why I think Biggly Piggly's behind it? Because I'm more convinced than ever after my the material that we talked about in the video yesterday that I did. The quote that Savannah Guthrie put in the first video that was pretty much directly from Silence of the Lambs. And then after she said the quote, she did just like a silent stare at the camera. And, you know, Bigley Pigley is obsessed with Hannibal Lecter. And for her to use a quote from Silence of the Lambs, and the quote was something like, our mother is kind and caring. Talk to her and you'll see. And then the quote from the movie is something like, our daughter is kind and caring. Talk to her and you'll see. Like the first part of the sentence is slightly different, but then the second sentence, the talk to her and you'll see, is the exact same. So it was definitely intentional. I believe that Savannah was quoting that movie for a reason. I think because she was trying to appeal to somebody who's obsessed with Hannibal Lecter. I also think that she knew it was him because she called Mark Kelly instead of calling any authorities when she first found out. And then Mark Kelly was the one who called the authorities. He called the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, and then he called the Tucson police chief, who quit 5 days later, who gave his notice 5 days into this case. Why on earth? Let me see what his name is. I'm always forgetting the police chief. Tucson police chief who just quit. Chad Kazmar. Retiring after 4 years as chief and over 25 years in the department. He announced his departure early February, but he's leaving to become a deputy county administrator for Pima County. So a deputy county administrator for the same county that the sheriff is the sheriff of. So that might give him authority over that sheriff. I don't know. But in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly the sheriff is in on it. So it could be that Chad was not comfortable with the situation. You know, why would he quit 5 days into a huge case like that? A case that he could really make a name for himself, you know, saving the town treasurer's mom, or not. I mean, hopefully they'll save her, but it's looking pretty bleak, isn't it? I think what we think is a mustache is the masked woman's full lips with lipstick. Oh yeah, I didn't really see the mustache that they were talking about. I know that there were people who think that the person has like a mustache and a goatee under the mask. I'm like, how can you see that? I don't see that at all. All I see is what looks like pretty little eyes with eyeliner and pretty thin lips, like just very effeminate. Anna, wow, did you ever see that black guy that placed a white Holly weird rubber face to change shape? Actors telling you spun into a huge distraction. Well, and the whole thing with Savannah Guthrie, so she interviewed more Trumpstein victims than any other investigative journalist, and she'd been doing it for at least 6 years. It was 2019 was when Dateline put together an expose that she was the investigative journalist, and it was mostly about Virginia Giuffre, but it was also about some of the other victims, I think. And it got axed a day or 2 days before it was supposed to air, and Virginia was devastated. and it's never been played, that Dateline episode. So in 2019, when that happened, when it was supposed to be aired and it wasn't, guess who was president, right? And her mother went missing on January 31st, and the 3 million most recent Trumpstein files were dropped on January 30th. So January 31st, Nancy Guthrie is abducted 24 hours after the 3 million Trumpstein files are dropped. There's no such thing as coincidence in crime like that. There is absolutely no such thing. So it's a huge distraction, and it's revenge. It's so freaking vengeful. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's so freaking gangsta to go after your freaking mom. It's so freaking gangster. And then, Biggly Piggly didn't jump in right away. It was like 3 days into it when reporters started asking him what his thoughts were about it. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to call Savannah later today. We have a great relationship. I really like her. And, I'm going to let all of the help that we can provide be at their disposal." And Kash Patel showed up on day 10, I think, maybe day 11. And it seems like maybe now that all of their help is at the disposal there in Tucson, but it seemed like it took about 10 days, which obviously time is of the essence in a situation like this. So even for him to delay in calling Savannah, like even a half a day, even talking about it earlier in the day and then doing it later that day, it's like, why not do it right now? It's kind of a freaking emergency. An old lady is missing. Why not do it yesterday? So, yeah. And again, if he had just said, we've had our ups and downs, she's an investigative journalist, and we've had some tense moments, but I really like her. But no, he just tried to act like everything was, lollipops and puppies and rainbows all the time. So that's just total freaking gaslighting. Gaslighting the nation, because a lot of the nation isn't going to remember that they've had this contention, and gaslighting the victim, who he's already gaslighting by taking her precious mother. And then it seems to me that Ashley Banfield was trying to pin it on the brother-in-law. Like, she needs to get taken off the air. And then you got the TMZ guy, Harry Levine, who was paid $10,000 a month to trash the reputations of the victims. Annie, did you know that? Harvey Levine, who is in the Epstein files, and then he's the one that the kidnapper is sending the ransom notes to. Give me a effing break. This man is in the Epstein files, and there's the stuff in the Epstein files documenting his trashing the victims' reputations for $10,000 a month. Like, what a piece of crap that man is. But he keeps putting himself out there front and center. I think he's trying to spin doctor it. I think Ashley Banfield's trying to spin doctor it. And I think Megyn Kelly is trying to spin doctor it. And she's the worst, man. She is the worst. Let's see. Okay, where did it go? The former FBI agent said they have their clothes stuffed to make them look fuller. Interesting. I thought I told you, Jazz. Maybe I said it somewhere else. I think you said it somewhere else. Either that or I missed it. I believe that Savannah said that on purpose too. Yes, it's very sad. I hope they still have it. I hope they still have what? The gate, I feel, is masculine, although Annie was in some trans ad. Annie, the sister. We don't see her walk, but I do feel a male gait. My Tom boyfriend walks like a guy. Yes, Harvey Levine is gross. Megyn Kelly is horrible, isn't she? And then there's that word that Bigley Pigley used when he first was speaking about Nancy's abduction. And he said, I think it's horrible, which was the exact same word he used when he was asked about his thoughts about Virginia Giuffre the morning after she passed away. And he said, it's horrible what happened to her. It's horrible. And again, I don't believe in coincidence. And I think that they had Virginia rubbed out. You know, Virginia says in her book, she names Trump half a dozen or a dozen times. She has filed lawsuits against him for sex abuse, and then she's withdrawn those lawsuits and said the phrasing that she uses when she's asked about him specifically, she would always say, I don't remember. She would start every sentence with, I don't remember. So if they asked, did you ever see Donald Trump partying with teenage girls? She would say, I don't remember ever seeing Trump partying with teenage girls. So, you know, the language that she used with Alan Dershowitz, because she also filed a lawsuit against him for the abuse, and then she withdrew it, you know, because they get their lives threatened. They kind of have no choice sometimes but to withdraw. And then with Alan Dershowitz, the language was, I must have confused him with someone else. So with Bigley Pigley, it turned into the I don't remember. And then with Dershowitz, it turned into I must have confused him with someone else. But she had made multiple allegations against both of them throughout her life. But then she rescinded those allegations. So, and that's very common. I mean, you know, even for people that aren't high profile, when they tell the authorities their lives get threatened and so stressed and out of control that it's very common for victims to recant their statements and say, no, it didn't happen. I made it up. Just because they are sick of the whole case. They're sick of everything getting blown out of proportion. As soon as you make an accusation, the victim, the table is always turned on the victim, always, every single time. You know, what were you wearing? And you're a slut anyway, right? I mean, or, you know, you wanted it. It was just a misunderstanding, you know, all that crap. And then like the Katherine Johnson and the 4 times that she filed the lawsuit against Bigley Pigley and Little E, saying that they had raped her together, the two of them, on 2 occasions, both of them, basically, what, they watch each other? I mean, that's so disgusting. And that they both like beat her up too, like hit her in the face, and that she was 13 when that happened. And so 2 different parties that they brutalized her together. And She filed that lawsuit and withdrew that lawsuit 4 times back in 2016, and nobody's heard from her since. She might not be alive anymore. She probably isn't, in my opinion. Hubby owed and pay debt or give us organs. In my opinion, these secret societies, many are eugenics. Adrenochrome is what an Uber driver says many do. Yes, my source drives people in that town, Vegas. Yeah, so in Vegas, there was just a biolab that was busted that had like HIV, coronavirus, and Ebola in petri dishes and crap. I mean, but yeah, the adrenochrome, for anybody who doesn't know, you can Google it, but it's basically a hormone that's released when you're scared and stressed. And it's said that the elite want to drink the red stuff with the adrenochrome in it of as young of a person as they can find, because they think that that's some kind of magic anti-aging fluid. So gross. And yeah, Granny Annie, you've heard about all the beef jerky emails, haven't you? That I think there was, I don't know, somewhere in the range of like 100 or hundreds of emails about beef jerky in the e-files. And reading through some of those emails, that doesn't sound like they're talking about beef jerky. But what's even more suspicious is that after people started talking about it, about the beef jerky and about their suspicions about the beef jerky, that all the beef jerky emails got taken down. So we know they're not about beef jerky. My goodness. The Dateline with Virginia. Yeah. Oh, that was, let me see. What did it do? I hope they still have it, the Dateline with Virginia. Well, I would imagine that they do, but because who was president back when they made it, he might have made them hand it over, right? But I mean, they should have things on file. Yes, they always blame the victim every single time. Honestly, I've got to say that part of it makes sense, that you need to understand where the person is coming from, not blaming the victim, but asking them questions about themselves and about the situation. But victims should be believed. I mean, once in a rare while, somebody will lie about something like that, which is just mind-boggling that anybody could be so freaking demented, and then it completely blows it out of the water for all of the real victims to then continue to not be believed. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. I guess Playboy was over 18 girls. The lifestyle was glam for the cam, but internal damage from gross backdoor action, we'll say. Not wanting to create a baby. My friend, a former bunny, told me a lot. Oh, that is so gross. Ew. Yikes. Annie, that's terrible. Anna says that is very scary. Walking the jerky over. Hey, Billy, darling. Yeah, you haven't commented in a while. I thought you had left. You're still here, my dear. Friendly Snake was my character. Gray had muted previously, in my opinion, so Gray could meet there. Friendly Snake, that's funny. That's hilarious. Character. You are a character, my dear. Yeah, the walking the jerky over. Ugh. So I know that Anna has seen the movie that I've recommended, the What You Wish For. Did you think it was good, Anna? Did you like it? I mean, it's a horrible movie to like, but there's a lot of things to like about it, like the cinematography, the writing, the editing, the acting. I thought it was masterfully done. So it's like it's a pleasant movie to watch for the cinematography. It's beautiful. But it's a horrible movie to watch for the storyline. I mean, a lot of people like horror movies, and to me, it was like a horror movie. I mean, it just had me on the edge of my seat. And, I watched it 2 days in a row because it's that good. There were just things that I was like not sure about. So I rewatched it. And then Anna watched it, and she had some input and questions that blew my mind. So I'm actually thinking I might watch it a third time. I don't know though. I mean, I was very hesitant to watch it a second time, but I was glad that I did. I mean, like I said, it's well done. Yes, Billy, that is the only thing that fits in that place. Granny Annie says, I really, really try to reduce my stress. My happiest days politically were up to 2003 on Jehovah's Witness. We never paid attention, focused on the kids. It was good, Anna says. So, yeah. So you recommend it for anybody who's interested? Oh, it was very educational. Wasn't it very eye-opening? I mean, it really gives you a glimpse into the elite. And it even, in my opinion, transfers over into understanding like Pamela Jo Bondi and her horrible performance that she did a few days ago in the Senate hearing or the Oversight Committee hearing. I forget which one it was. But when she just was like going off the rails with all of her insults and not answering questions and just being a complete buffoon, it gave me insight into understanding that when you're in that deep with those people, you have no choice but to fight like hell, because if not, you're next, basically. So, everybody's disposable. Everybody's disposable. Not bringing some jerky over, instead walking the jerky over. Exactly. I'll walk the jerky over. Ugh. Crazy. So, yeah, the thing with Pamela Jo ignoring all of the victims that were right behind her when she was, giving lip service to how awful it was what they went through and how she's so sorry, but she couldn't turn around and look at them. She refused to turn around and look at them. And that in and of itself is very abusive. Like, she was re-traumatizing them in real time at the same time that she's giving lip service to, oh, it's terrible what they went through. And she knows that. I mean, she's stupid, but she's not that stupid. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was effing with their heads. She was gaslighting them. And that's what they do. They think they're running circles around you when they gaslight you like that. It's so awful. It's so evil. So, one of my favorite funny news satire things, in addition to all those specific comedians that I love watching, is the Have I Got News for You US. And then how I'm always telling you I try to stay very focused on the content that Lev Parnas and his son Aaron Parnas put out, because Aaron Parnas is literally reading through the 3 million emails on his own, literally. And then Lev Parnas was in Biggly Piggly's crew for a long time. So, and he went to jail for crimes that he committed related to that. And then he is really out to save our democracy. Like, that's his focus. And so yeah, the two of them and the Have I Got News for You like comedy show that has great guests like Paula Poundstone and one of the kids in the hall. And Aaron Parnas was just on it. And I think they show it on CNN. I was going to show a really funny clip. And then maybe we'll wrap up since we're getting towards an hour and a half. Let's see. What say you? We little people are very disposable. I'm getting off their hamster wheel lying about my medical records. Gives more business. The movie The Menu with Emma Stone. You have to watch that. Oh my goodness. Emma Stone is great. Is it kind of the same thing? I'm going to guess. I will. I'll look it up right away. The Menu with Emma Stone. I should write it down because I'll be like, the what? And it takes like 24 hours for the chat to get into the video after we wrap up. The Menu. And yeah, let me show you a cute short from Have I Got News for You. These writers are so funny. So I think a lot of the people that are like the core people on Have I Got News for You are the writers for The Daily Show, but they're comedians too. So I guess when you're trying to get a job on these funny shows, if you're really good, they want you to be a writer rather than one of the actors. Let's see. Have I got news for you? Have I got news for you? It's like, it just goes by the initials, I think. Man, they're getting a lot of views too. That's great. I thought there was a really good short one. Oh, maybe it's undershorts. Let me see. Have I got news for you? US. No, I don't think it's under shorts. I don't want to play a really long one. And I watched a whole bunch of them today. The Have I Got News for You. I was sewing this morning and I was just doing a binge on Have I Got News for You. It was fun. It was so much fun. I think that's the one with Aaron Parnas. Yes, it is. So I'm going to play part of Aaron Parnas for you. And first I have to queue it up and I'll read your comments. As soon as I get this queued up, I'll read your comments. Okay. Hold on, pause. All right. Soylent Green. Yeah. I think I watched that too. I remember watching that when I was a kid. An elite college on East Coast had a supper club. The hostess was so excited. She went home, brushed her teeth, and committed self-offing by her tennis courts at the college. Guess her number? I have no idea what was her number. Oh yeah, I'm really curious what you talking about, Granny Annie. Let me see if I can reach my water bottle without showing any skin. Oh, I showed the skin. Oh well, I gave it the good old college try. Sorry about that. Sorry for showing skin. Yeah, what do you mean guess her number? What do you mean? I remember this, like it was a true crime thing a couple years ago, right? I remember that. What was her number? Like, what do you mean her number? Like her social security number? So I'm going to go ahead and play this funny thing, and I'll let you type in if you want. When you owe a favor, a sacrifice can pay a debt, in my opinion, but the supper club is a thing. Yeah, I totally remember there was a case in our true crime community with that. Was it at Yale? It was crazy. It was so bizarre.
Watch the clip and tell me what is the story.
This is Pam Bondi testifying about Epstein, and she talked and talked and talked and didn't say shit.
The story is Pam Bondi and Trump's Department of Justice. The DOJ has America saying WTF, and it all starts with a certain PDF file full of PDF files. On Wednesday,
that's where I got that. I wrote that down. PDF file full of PDF files.
Attorney General Pam Bondi appeared before the House Judiciary Committee to answer questions about her handling of the Epstein files, and Bondi was nothing but a professional.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people. You don't tell me.
No, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer. You're not even a lawyer.
I'm talking. I'm
if they're
talking.
not privileged,
Quiet.
Don't yell at me. You didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once. When he was
weak sauce.
And also,
that was one of the best. I missed that because I watched it live, but I could only take so much. I missed the weak sauce. Oh man, it gets better.
She's good at spinning some shit. Boy. You don't get that good overnight. That's hours of like complaining at McDonald's and Home Depot. What I really love is this one woman's facial expression.
Is that the funniest? That's hours of complaining at McDonald's and Home Depot. Yeah, that's like being a Karen for 20 years to get that good, huh? Yes, Yale. The gal was so excited to be invited to the supper club. Mirask Units was her name. Sorry, I'm hacking it up. MEs are in on these, obviously. Medical examiners, right. Right. Well, I think the medical examiners will sell the remains. Yeah, absolutely. They'll replace them with body doubles. Okay. Only watch 10 minutes of what in a bees?
Just says it all. Why was Pam Bondi in front of the Judiciary Committee in the first place?
Because the DOJ wouldn't release the Epstein files the way they should have. Redaction. That's all you got.
Yeah, Congress was granted access.
Okay, so that's Aaron Parnas, the guy who just says redaction. That's all you got. I only watched like 10 minutes of it. Yeah, it was painful. I mean, it was so cringe. It was like the definition of cringe.
To unredacted versions of the Epstein files for
what did I do?
For the first time, but they hit some roadblocks. Question: what's been standing in the way of Congress gaining full unredacted access to the Epstein files?
First of all, the Department of Justice, and if you want to see them as a congressperson, they've got 4 computers. 4 computers.
There's 4 computers. So it would take many months to actually have the time. I only had a few hours. I think the transparency argument is really kind of a sham because it's not really.
Whoa. Did you have to wait to get
it? It is not possible.
4 computers. Like the library, bitch. Like you're just.
My library has more than 4 computers. I gotta be honest.
Turns out Congress can only look at the files between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. And they have to give the DOJ 24 hours notice before they look at them. And only members of Congress are allowed to look at the files and log in and read them.
What is the average age of a member of Congress? It's like 87, 88, something like that. They don't know how to use computers.
What is the one thing that's making matters even worse once they've accessed the files?
Is it that they're scratch and sniff?
It's because the DOJ is tracking which members of Congress looked at the files, and they're tracking which files they looked at.
We have learned from this photo that the searches that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General.
If you look at the photo from inside Bundy's binder, you can see she literally has a list of everything that Representative Jayapal searched for. One congressperson even clocked what she was doing as it happened.
I'd like to see flip to the Jared Moskowitz section of the binder. I'm interested to see what staff provided on the oppo on me, and because we're in the Olympics, I'm going to give it a grade. I just want to see how good it is. So give me your best one.
So first of all, nothing is funny about mocking the Bible and holding up a Trump Bible. That's what you did. You made a joke, and I find it
I want it.
That's all I have to say.
I want it from the burn book.
Shame.
I want it from the burn book, which is the best one. What you got?
Maryland Rep. Jenny Raskin.
An ad. How dare. My apologies. Stupid ad.
There was anything fun about Pam's peeking, though.
It is a violation of the separation of powers for them to essentially be monitoring our computer searches on the Epstein file. So I think it's outrageous that they would do that, and it's Orwellian, and we're going to have some more to say about it soon.
I mean, Mike Johnson and his son monitor each other's porn usage, so this seems fine.
Bondi continued to blow up throughout her testimony. And what was the most damning moment for AG Bondi during this hearing?
When she was finally honest and was like, look, I love to protect pedophiles. It's what I was hired to do, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to fight anyone who says I can't. Do you remember that part?
I must admit, I was flipping between that and the Olympics, so I must have missed it.
There was a moment where all the survivors, about a dozen of them, stood up, right? And they all looked at Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi didn't look at them once. And that moment right there, I think, ends her tenure as Attorney General.
Points for Aaron. Why would anyone ever expect Pam Bondi to make a stand against assault?
She made a big show right at the beginning of the administration. We're gonna get out these files, and she gave them to a bunch of right-wing influencers, and she was making a whole big deal of it.
The reason why it's so shocking that Pam Bondi is against defending victims of assault is because she said she would in 2014 during this campaign ad.
Florida ranks third nationally in calls for help for human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Pam Bondi, our Attorney General.
That's our Attorney General, your boy.
I'll put human traffickers behind bars. By bars, I mean little black bars on sheets of paper.
That's pretty funny. Little black bars on sheets of paper, you know, the redaction bars. Let's see. I will say Mick Jagger has it going on. We were in Uber coming home from his concert. Oh, when was this? Here, what did I miss? I have zero issues of my organs doing something besides being in the ground. Claustrophobia would kill me if they could legally have our organs. Can save so many, like legalizing pot. Crazy. I have heard that organs go to the highest bidder, even with the reputable medical organizations. I will not be a donor. I know you, and you can't distinguish what type of thing they're going to do with your organs too. Like if they're going to use them for science, they're going to use them for science. Yeah. I'm personally, I'm against it. Like my mom wanted to donate her remains, and I was like, no, Mom, I want you all in one piece, please. And she was like, okay. She literally said, I just don't want to be put in a box. And we did a natural burial, which you can do here in Ohio without a box. It was like a brand new thing. Oh, and I need to plug in my thing. I know I have my cord here. Oh, hold on. Let me grab it and plug it in real quick. And then I'll finish that video. 1 second. I have it here. I almost had it plugged in. I think that the other end is plugged in. Let me see. I think the other end is plugged in, but I better check and be sure. No, because it's not. 1 sec. What did I do with it? I got it right here. Okay, I'm back. Get it plugged in before it shuts itself down. We don't want that. Okay, I think I got it. Sometimes you think it's plugged in and it doesn't all go all the way. Okay, so let's finish this up and then sign off and go nighty night. That Uber brought up why he was in such great shape. Adrenochrome Center in Vegas somewhere. Gross. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's legal ways to get it. I don't know. I guess. Anna, I would prefer my heirs get the cash. But I don't think that I think that you donate them and then the hospital gets the cash or something, right? There was a business in Arizona that had donor body parts. They were reported and the FBI went in and found it was dirty and they had made like a Frankenstein body. Well, see, that's the kind of thing that little E and his peeps were all about. They did all kinds of crap like that. So that's a whole nother element. That's what's in the other 3 million pages that are quote unquote lost, right? 2021 year of pericarditis for me. I really needed an ambulance from pericarditis. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I thought I was dying. I couldn't breathe. I blamed being in the crowds with shots. Adrenochrome, they test the blood and see what nutrients they need. Eesh, yeah, crazy. Okay, we just have like 3 more minutes of this. 4 more minutes.
Yeah, that's what they told me when they put me in jail the first time.
Here's Pam saying what we should be talking about instead.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. What does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
The stock was at 50,000.
The market did fall below 50,000 after she finished testifying. So
You were at that hearing, right?
I was right outside. They didn't let me in.
Did you speak to the survivors?
Yeah.
And what can you share about what they said after the hearing?
They're horrified, right? They're horrified. It's not just Pam Bondi. It's been 5 administrations. It's been several departments of justice. They just want justice. And instead, they get their own witness statements that they told the FBI, and it's all blacked out. They can't even see their own documents.
So that's Aaron Parnas. He's such a good guy. He's a little Doogie Howser. He started college when he was 14. He was a lawyer by the time he was 21. Here, get him some more. 1 second here. He's a really sharp guy. He can read like 10,000 pages in a day. Patch Adams was like that. I've told you guys about Patch Adams.
Bondi wasn't the only Trump administration official to testify about Epstein this week. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick answered questions about his relationship with the apex pedophile before a congressional committee this week. What did Howard have to say about his association with Epstein?
That it was nothing. What are you talking about it? It barely knows the guy. Yes, they spent a lot of time together.
Here's Lutnick.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children.
He knows how bad it is because he felt the need to say that he left with his children. If I go to a friend's house for lunch with my kids and I'm telling somebody about it, I then don't say, and my children left too.
Who's actually facing consequences for their connections to Epstein and being in the files?
The royal formerly known as Prince, that's one of them.
Oh, that's when you say Prince, you got to put Andrew right behind that immediately. Right. Black people know. You don't just go formerly known as Prince. You're like, no.
There's a bunch of Brits, I feel like, who are in a lot of trouble.
You got the ambassador, Mendelsohn. You got the Sultan from Dubai, who was just resigned today.
Wait, sultans can resign?
Well, I think his first name's Sultan.
Oh, okay.
That's right, baby. Get him.
And then there's Elon Musk. Who's Elon Musk been coming for this week?
It's Steve Bannon.
That sounds so right, Aaron. I want to trade teammates.
Yeah. It is Steve Bannon. Despite being mentioned in the files himself, Elon's been tweeting about human mucinex blob, Steve Bannon. Bannon's all over the file.
Human mucinex blob. OMG. So I guess it was just a front to launder money. What was the front to launder money? All of it? Everything? Yes. Yeah, Lutnick is the money launderer guy. My Italian ex-boyfriend knew mobsters. They owned the mortuary, slide them in, cook them, all gone. Eesh. Why didn't I think of that? Yikes. Middle of the night deliveries of problem corpses. Yes, that's how you get rid of bodies. That was hilarious. Well, I know. I love this channel. Here, I've just got like less than a minute left of this Steve Bannon human mucus blob. Mucinix blob.
He and Jeffrey Epstein have a selfie together. And in 2019, the same year Epstein went to jail for the last time, Bannon texted Epstein an offer to rebuild his image by producing a documentary about what a great philanthropist he is. Yes, the name of that documentary, Melania.
That was a good one.
Now, Pam Bondi might not be interested in what Epstein's victims have to say, but some of those victims sat down with NBC News just after the hearing.
So there's the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein, and then there's the crimes of the cover-up. And she's part of that continuing cover-up. So she didn't apologize for that.
So like, oh, the theater. And I'm like, yes, you're the main character in this.
The circus act.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a comedian today.
Well said. Yes.
Everyone was laughing at her. Do you believe they did the best they could?
Do they not know the Dow is at 50,000?
All right, that's a good one to end on. We always got to laugh about this stuff. It's so sad and so disgusting. Thanks for hanging out with me, people. I love you guys. I'll see you perhaps tomorrow. President's Day? That would be apropos, huh? Since I do spend a lot of time talking or trying not to talk about El Presidente. Ugh. So did I cover all the bases of why I think it's him behind Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? So another huge red flag for Red Flag Donnie is that it's been 2 weeks and that they got nothing. And I just think that they would have something after 2 weeks unless, it's like a Kylie Rodney kind of thing. So I'm fully expecting one more week of this crap, 21 days, and then they'll be like, oh, look, she was right here the whole time. And she's fine. I mean, wouldn't that be freaking amazing? But no, chances are she's long gone. I hope not. I hope they have her safe. Oh, man. Unbelievable. What a horrific situation. And then the whole thing with Savannah Guthrie getting the surgery on her throat, having her last day on the Today Show be December 19th. She had to not talk for 2 weeks before the surgery and then not talk 2 weeks after the surgery. So her surgery was at the beginning of January, and then she came back to work on the Today Show, I think around January 25th. I think it was the Monday right before her mother went missing, just slightly under a week later. Let's see the calendar. January. So she came back to work on the 26th, and then her mother went missing on the 31st. Well, it would have been the night of the 31st. So she was reported missing on February 1st, Sunday. But Savannah was only back at work for that 1 week. And, I'll say it again in case anybody didn't catch it in the previous videos. I've talked about her throat surgery. Nobody's talking about it on YouTube. I've heard nobody talk about it. I don't even know how I found out about it. I don't think I've seen a single YouTube video about it. So, must be from reading some articles or something. But the condition that she had to have surgery for is like a bleeding nodule on her vocal cord. I forget the terminology for it. I know Anna Bees knows the diagnosis, but the precise diagnosis that she had that was corrected is something that can be caused by poisoning. So, I think they're literally trying to silence her. And one of the best or worst ways to silence somebody is just to rattle their cage, to traumatize them so severely that they don't know which way is up, which I think is what they're doing to her. And doing to the whole freaking family. I mean, the grandkids, all of her kids, all of her friends. I mean, even her staff, her housekeeper, her medical assistants, they're probably all just devastated, especially because she was their livelihood. If that was their sole income, was taking care of her or taking care of her property, then, they're horrified because it's a horrible situation, but they're also out of a job. I would think that the Guthries would help them, make ends meet until they get something new going on. Horrible. Yeah, we'll sign off. Good night, everyone. Sleep well. Blood donation in AM up at 4. I hope she comes home safe too. Using pacemaker search apparatus. that was cool. Well, and it's like, wouldn't she have one of those panic medical buttons on her at all times? I would think. Pacemaker on a battery, like a drone thing. Yes, Annie, there's a battery, and you have to call the manufacturer and do a check over the phone every so often. So yeah, could they can't like GPS her pacemaker? Is that what you're saying? Could they GPS her pacemaker? That would be freaking amazing. Is that a thing? Do you guys know? Let me ask the phone real quick before we hang up here. And Michael McAllister, hey, how's it going? Does anybody know, can you GPS a pacemaker? Is it possible to GPS a person's location by their pacemaker? No. Dang it. That would have been cool. No, it is not possible to track a person's location via GPS using a pacemaker. Wouldn't that be cool if it did? But yeah, her pacemaker is probably going to be needing things, right? Is that what you guys are talking about? Like to keep them up? Like they don't just work on their own. After a couple of weeks, you got to do something like check in. Is that what you were saying? Battery constraints, signal limitations, short range communication. Most modern pacemakers have Bluetooth low energy near field communication. They can only transmit data to a paired smartphone or bedside monitor that is typically within 10 feet of the patient. While they cannot track live locations, investigators can sometimes use remote monitoring data to establish a timeline of events. For example, doctors can see when a device last synced or identify the exact time a heart stopped beating. For individuals who need location tracking for safety, medical experts recommend using external devices like a GPS-enabled medical alert system or wearing wearable smartwatches. All right. I'm so glad we got to see you, Michael McAllister. Thanks for coming in. We are wrapping up. Oh my gosh, it's 2 hours. I'm so sorry. The time, I've just been like loopy lately, especially as it gets later and it's almost 11:30. Let's see. Sometimes the battery needs to be replaced. Yes, Annie, there's a battery. You have to call the manufacturer and do a check over the phone every so often. Michael says, hi, everyone. And sorry, my phone is currently running slow and I have to watch the replay video. And I tried to watch the video on everyone's channels. Aw, thanks, Michael. It's always lovely to see you. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. I don't know if they can. Hey, Michael, my Apple Watch wanted to call 911 when I fell in pool at water volleyball. That's nice of your watch to look after you like that. What a good friend. I'm only getting like 2 words from Jazz and the rest I have to guess. LOL, OMG. Well, and maybe I'm losing my signal too. I know that happened the night before last. All right, you guys, love to you. Happy Valentine's post and happy President's Day Eve. See you soon. Thanks for watching.